All right, sweet. We're live. What's up?
What's up, buddy?
Thanks, Evan. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, dude. What's going
I'm psyched. I'm good. I'm just curious, your story. I know you've been in the mortgage business for 15 plus years.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of mortgages. Do you know how many you've done? What's like an estimate?
An estimate?
Give me a number.
I mean, it's definitely in the thousands. As far as how many thousands, I don't know, man. Yeah, because I've been doing it for closer to 20 years now. I started doing it in like 2003.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple dark years in there in like 2008, 2009,
Sure.
for obvious reasons. But yeah, I mean, as far as an estimate, I don't know, man. You got me thinking. I'll have to go look that up. Let's see what I got to put on the back of my baseball card. You know.
Well, a couple of thousand, I'll take it.
Definitely in the thousands. If I had to make a guess, I mean, geez, I don't know, probably 2,500, 3,000, something like that.
That's a solid number. I'm catching up.
Yeah.
Not on the mortgage end, but on the real estate end.
Hey, man, you got plenty. You got a lot more years to go.
Yeah, I got another 20 in me.
Yeah, I hope so.
But
jeez, another 20, you wouldn't even be as old as I am right now. So,
true.
Jeez.
True. I guess starting off though, I mean, what was like the turning point for your business getting in 2003? At what point did you feel your business kind of became established?
Well, it was a completely different world in 2003.
Yeah.
I refer to it as like the wild, wild west years of mortgage lending and real estate in general. Like if you've ever seen, it's funny, I was just watching this like a week ago with my wife, but you ever see The Big Short?
Yeah.
That was real. Like that is fairly accurate of a representation of how it was, and from the early 2000s up until basically like 2007, and everything came crumbling down in 2008. But as far as like established business in that time frame, it was literally wild, wild west. There was no licensing, there was no regulation whatsoever. So it was more so just talking to someone, hey, Mr. Jones, I can tell that you're breathing and you
want to buy a house
and you have a pulse. Do you at that point we were doing a lot of refinances, so it was hey, I can tell you're breathing. You probably have a pulse. Would you like $500,000? And it was just very simple marketing. There was a call center and they would come to us and say, hey, this person's back then they were at 8%, and we would be taking them to 6% and giving them $20,000, $30,000, and their payment would go down $200. And who's saying no to that?
Yeah. So
when I first started in the industry, it was in that time frame, and it was like, I mean, truthfully, I barely knew what the hell a mortgage was, and it was just like, hey, it was just straight sales. It wasn't anywhere near the industry that it is now.
It was like boiler room, where it's
Absolutely.
like close, move on to the next.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. It was more so just turn and burn refinances.
And it was primarily the adjustable rate mortgages, from what I understand. That was the major issue, because you had people that were taking on these mortgages, but their payment wasn't really kicking in until a couple of years after they secured it, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of what was called the old 228 loan, where it was fixed for 2 years and then it went adjustable. So a lot of those mortgages that were written in the very early 2000s, like 2001, 2002, 2003, by the time those matured and they went into the adjustable phase, people had that oh shit moment, like my payment just got jacked up $300, $400. I was already barely making ends meet with the other payment because of the fact that they didn't really have to qualify for the mortgages in general. So it was just like a full-on explosion of foreclosures because of that, and also the fact that there was propped up values with bad appraisals.
So it's a combination of poor appraisals, adjustable rate mortgages that were kicking in 2 years' time.
Yep.
And then the lack of underwriting.
Yeah, it was just like a Murphy's Law of like, hey, let's throw this all and have it explode all at once.
Because what they do is they just bundle the mortgages, resell them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was it.
It was just flat out people weren't qualified to be borrowing the money they were borrowing. It was, they have, like in the movie they talk about the ninja loans, which is no income, no asset. Stated income loans, where it would just be like, hey, hey, Mr. Jones, there's how much money did you make? What's your salary? Oh, I make $65,000 a year. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You made $95,000 a year? It was that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So obviously, we're in a completely different world now where it's very highly regulated. And anybody that's applied for a mortgage or done a refi or bought a home in the last handful of years knows what it takes to go through that. And a lot of people think it's like, having their fingernails pulled out, but we try to make it as user-friendly as possible.
Yeah.
So it's a different world now. Now the regulations are so much so that, we can't have any kind of contact with appraisers. Everything's ordered through an AMC, appraisal management company. So for the main reason that they don't want...
There's no market manipulation anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not possible.
Yeah, and they're governed anyway. Appraisers are governed now. Even if I was able to contact an appraiser and say, hey, Joe Appraiser, it looks like this property is worth $500. Can you send me an appraisal for $600? Even if he did that, he has a system of checks and balances that are in place that are gonna quell him from being able to do that. Because he has to then answer to the appraisal commission if they see some stuff. Because ultimately, every appraisal gets graded, and so if he did that, it would be an F appraisal, and it would never stand up anyway.
Yeah.
So there's this whole system now, which is how it should be.